So I'm going to go through just a quick video today for those who had posted a couple of weeks ago just asking who had issues with particular exercises, and quite a few people had mentioned about wrist pain in things like press ups, hill climbers, tricep dips, various things like that. So I'm going to give you a few different options that you can do. So one of the first things that I would say would be when you're, say for example, doing press ups or you're doing your hill climbers, is to use a fist. And I do this quite often because I get wrist pain as well. So using a fist as opposed to here, because if you look at, if I'm on the floor doing press ups, my wrist is bent back here. Whereas if I'm on my fist, my wrist is flat. So when I'm here doing my press ups, my wrist is staying in line, and I've got, what I would say is, you've got no creases on your wrist, whereas when you're folded back, you've got creases on your wrist, so if you're in there. So that would be my first option to do. And as I say, you can do that for your hill climbers, you can do that for your tricep dips, so you could be on your fists instead. The second thing I would say to do is maybe to lift the body up a wee bit higher, so you've not got as much weight coming forwards onto those areas. So something like, I've got my step, so something like a step, or maybe a chair. Obviously I've got my dining chair here, but that's not really wide enough to do push-ups, but it is for hill climbers, it would be fine. So it would maybe be 2 chairs. So raising the body weight or the hands up higher means that you're putting less body weight down on top of the wrists as well. So that could be another option. Your third option would be using a box or a something, or maybe 2 big books or something like that, and you've got your hands, can you see what I'm doing here with my hands? So my hands kind of hang over the edge, because when your hands are flat, you're kind of fixed and forcing the hand into that position, whereas if you have your hands over the edge of something, it's not as much of a force move. It's because the muscles that go into the fingers are getting forced back. So it might be a wee bit easier for you there. The last thing I would advise, and I just actually remembered last week that I had these, is push-up bars, tricep dip bars. You can use these as well. We used these when we were together in classes quite often, because again, it's more of that wrist position. So if you see my wrists here as opposed to here, sorry you can't see that, so have a wee look at my wrist. So if I'm doing a push-up on the floor, it would be like that. So you see all the creases on my wrist, whereas if I have them here, then I've not got as much pressure coming into the wrist. And I would move them in closer to go for hill climbers. You can come over, you can do tricep dips, you actually get a wee bit more range of movement because the tricep dips. So push-up bars, these are called, and they're fairly inexpensive as well, even just now when all the kind of home workout stuff is so expensive at the moment. These are one of the things that haven't actually gone up that much in price, so they could be an option. So the first thing I would do, just to recap, is to try on the fists. The second thing I would do is try to raise the body up a wee bit higher, so maybe on the solid part of your couch or on a table or a chair or something. The third option I would say is to have your fingers hanging over the edge of maybe a box or a step or something. And my fourth option would be something like this that might be helpful. So I know lots of people had commented about wrist pain, and I get it myself when I'm, like today, I've been doing videos sort of for the last, since about 1 o'clock today. It's now almost 4, so I'm definitely, and I've got 2 classes tonight as well, so I'm definitely going to be feeling that in my wrists today, and tomorrow morning I'll definitely feel it as well. So I think I'm going to start using these in my classes a lot more to try and prevent that. So I hope that's helpful, and let me know if you give any of those options a try.